Oh my god, a dog keeps barking. Don't they know I'm filming for my 13 subscribers? Hey there, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. It's Adam here with a very special video for you. Tonight is the Emmy Awards. For those of you who don't know, the Emmy Awards award the best in television. It's one of the major four awards next to an Oscar, a Grammy, and a Tony Award. I thought this week it would be really fun to go through the major categories and predict who I think will win. I love award shows. They're my favorite thing. I plan to do a lot with them on this channel, but I'm by no means an expert. So this could be horribly wrong, but thought it would be a fun little thing to do. Okay, much better. Oh my goodness, I couldn't see. So we're gonna start with movie limited supporting actor. I don't know why they lump limited series and movies together. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I think they're just slightly different, but what can you do? I'm not in charge. So the nominees are Jim Parsons for Hollywood, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II for Watchmen, Louis Gossett Jr. for Watchmen, Titus Burgess for Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Jovan Adepo for Watchmen, and Dylan McDermott for Hollywood. I will admit I have not seen Hollywood, but I have seen Watchmen, and wow. A lot of industry experts, especially on Gold Derby, have Jim Parsons the top favorite to win. I put Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. He is amazing on that show. I don't want to spoil it too much in case you still haven't watched it for whatever reason, but he does a lot. His character kind of has two components to it, and he really nails it. I'm also just obsessed with him. He is such an exciting actor, and he is gonna blow up. So yeah, I have him to win it, and Jim Parsons would be the runner-up for me. He could win it. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, next up we've got movie limited series supporting actress. The nominees are Jean Smart for Watchmen, Toni Collette for Unbelievable, Uzo Aduba for Mrs. America, Margot Martindale for Mrs. America, Tracy Ullman for Mrs. America, and Holland Taylor for Hollywood. So Jean Smart has been kind of polling really high to win this, as she should. Watchmen is incredible. I went ahead and put Toni Collette as my pick. I think, you know, she was riding high from previous awards, from Unbelievable. I think it's such a gripping performance. And she's the only person nominated from this series. I don't know why Caitlin Dever and Merritt Wever were ignored, but she is the sole person, so I think that could also carry her forward. So I have Toni Collette to win. Jean Smart could win. Okay, next up we have movie limited actor lead. The nominees are Mark Ruffalo, I Know This Much Is True, Paul Mescal for Normal People, Hugh Jackman for Bad Education, Jeremy Irons for Watchmen, and Jeremy Pope for Hollywood. So originally I had Hugh Jackman to take it. I think he was the favorite, but now a lot of experts are saying Mark Ruffalo could take it. So I'm sticking with Hugh Jackman. I don't like Hugh Jackman, but I think people do. So I think he could get in there and win it. At my could win, I have Paul Mescal. I didn't love the series Normal People, but he and Daisy Edgar Jones, who deserved a nomination, are stellar. Paul's work moved me to tears in one specific episode. He's terrific, and I wouldn't be mad or shocked if he won. So I have Hugh Jackman winning it, Paul Mescal could win it, and Mark Ruffalo could sneak in there somewhere. This is a weird category. I feel like I'm going really fast, but like it's just reading names and sounding off my predictions. Cool, so next up we have movie limited actress. The nominees are Regina King for Watchmen, Cate Blanchett for Mrs. America, Shira Haas for Unorthodox, Kerry Washington, Little Fires Everywhere, and Octavia Spencer, Self-Made. This category is just thriving with stellar performances, stellar women. But I have Regina King clinching it. She is the driving force of Watchmen. Watchmen is incredible, but like she takes it like to a whole other level. I know she's won this category many times in the past, but what's another one, right? I think the world of Regina King. I think this showed a whole another side to her. She's a badass, and I think she really showed a whole edgy, gritty side to her that we don't normally get to see, and brought such a nuanced performance to a genre that often gets overlooked. So I have Regina King taking it. Could take it, Cate Blanchett. Do not underestimate the Blanchett. She is a powerhouse. She is a force. Mrs. America has been raved and raved and raved about. I would not be shocked if she snuck in there and won. Next up, we have limited series. Watchmen, Mrs. America, Unorthodox, Unbelievable, and Little Fires Everywhere. I think this category is basically a neck and neck race between Watchmen and Mrs. America. I think either one can take it. I'm leaning more towards Watchmen. I think it just has more excitement behind it coming into this evening. I think Watchmen is something we really haven't seen before at the Emmys. I think it elevated a genre. It's a genre that we don't really see represented in award shows in general, but this particular one. And I think it's very topical and very important with what is going on in the world today with the Black Lives Matter movement. I think it really tackles those issues head on in a very fearless, uncomfortable, beautiful way. The way they blended superhero comic book adaptation with like ongoing social justice issues and themes was beautiful and breathtaking. I don't want to sound dramatic, but I've never watched anything like it. I likely will never see anything like it, and it's incredible. So I think Watchmen will win. Mrs. America could win. Okay, next up we've got Best Supporting Actor in a Drama Series. The nominees are Billy Crudup for The Morning Show, Kieran Culkin for Succession, Matthew McFadden for Succession, Giancarlo Esposito for Better Call Saul, Bradley Whitford for The Handmaid's Tale, Jeffrey Wright for Westworld, Nicholas Braun for Succession, and Mark Duplass for The Morning Show. I apologize if I keep leaning over. I am like blind. I cannot read these. So this is a tricky category. For a long time, Kieran Culkin was the front runner, but lately Billy Crudup I've been seeing has been polling higher. He has won other awards for this performance. I love Succession. I love it so much. I'm not avoiding The Morning Show. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So I can't totally speak for Billy Crudup. I think this is Succession's year. I think Succession has all the buzz around it, a la Game of Thrones kind of level. I think it emerged as like this big, exciting new drama series this year, and I think all the performers could ride its coattails. I think having 3 people from Succession might split it a little bit in Billy Crudup's favor, but I have my money on Kieran Culkin for Succession, but Billy Crudup could win. Next up, we've got Best Supporting Actress in a Drama Series. The nominees are Helena Bonham Carter for The Crown, Julia Garner for Ozark, Sarah Snook for Succession, Meryl Streep for Big Little Lies, Thandie Newton for Westworld, Fiona Shaw for Killing Eve, Laura Dern for Big Little Lies, and Samira Wiley for The Handmaid's Tale. If we would have done this like a year ago, I would have said it was Meryl Streep or Laura Dern, even though that season of Big Little Lies was kind of disappointing. Now, I think it's kind of a race between Helena Bonham Carter, Sarah Snook, and Julia Garner. I placed Helena Bonham Carter as the one to take it. She is number 1 according to experts as well. The Television Academy loves The Crown. I don't get it. I watched 20 minutes of the first ever episode of The Crown and I was like, this is not for me. I thought it was so boring. Props to you if that's your thing. It was not for me. I don't get the hype. I don't get the love around it. But that being said, Helena Bonham Carter is a wonderful actress. The Television Academy loves The Crown. I could see her taking it home. Sarah Snook gives such a fierce performance on Succession this year, though. She really stepped into her own. She was always really great, but like they gave her so much to do this season, and she really emerged as a fan favorite. I think she just emerged as a powerhouse in that cast. So I would love to see her win it. I think that would be incredible. And she would be riding the Succession hype train, rightfully so. So I wouldn't count her out. Julia Garner won this last year, and people love Ozark. I haven't gotten to Ozark yet. It's on my list. It's next up. I've just been busy. But Julia Garner won this last year for Ozark. Ozark is a favorite. Don't count her out. I have Helena Bonham Carter will win. Could win Sarah Snook or Julia Garner. I don't know. It's very close. It could go one of many ways. Best Actor in a Drama Series. The nominees are Jeremy Strong for Succession, Brian Cox for Succession, Jason Bateman for Ozark, Billy Porter for Pose, Steve Carell, The Morning Show, and Sterling K. Brown, This Is Us. I'm having a hard time because Succession is amazing, but I think Billy Porter is also incredible in Pose. I do have him at 4, though. I unfortunately think Succession or Ozark is gonna sneak by him this year. I think it'll go to Brian Cox. I think he is the patriarch of the family on the show. He is the driving force of the show. It all centers around him and his character's well-being. Jeremy Strong currently is placed a little higher above him. I think Jeremy Strong did excellent work, especially in that season finale. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to say. He kind of coasts on through and then blows up the world in that last episode. But I just think Brian Cox did just more this entire season. I think he was just more interesting. And he is a legend. I think he has that really going for him. That character is frightening. He's terrifying. Every time he walks onto the screen, my stomach just lurches because it feels like I'm gonna get in trouble. I think Brian Cox will win. Jason Bateman could win this, or Jeremy Strong. It could be one of those two. I think Ozark, again, like I said, is a popular one. He did win for directing, so I could see them giving him recognition in other ways, but I think Jason Bateman could slip in there, especially with this latest season of Ozark being really critically acclaimed. I could see him sneaking in there. But do not count out Jeremy Strong. Like the supporting actress race, I think this could go one of 3 ways. Next, we got Best Actress in a Drama Series. Nominees are Laura Linney for Ozark, Jennifer Aniston for The Morning Show, Olivia Colman for The Crown, Zendaya for Euphoria, Jodie Comer for Killing Eve, and Sandra Oh for Killing Eve. I have the Killing Eve ladies at the bottom. I love Killing Eve. It's one of my favorite shows ever. However, season 3 was a little slow. It was a little lackluster. It wasn't as dynamic and exciting as season 2. So I don't think we'll be seeing them on the stage. I have Laura Linney to take it. Again, Ozark was so critically lauded, and all I saw was Laura Linney, Laura Linney, Laura Linney, and she's been nominated for the past 2 seasons but hasn't won yet, and there's not a huge threat to her this year. You know, usually she had someone else kind of slip in there, but it's her. I think it's her year to take it. At runner-up, I have Jennifer Aniston, The Morning Show. I've heard a lot of buzz about her and her performance. She also won the Golden Globe, so that could carry her in. I would not be surprised. I put Zendaya at number 3. I don't know that Zendaya will win. I think she could really sneak in there. I would love it if she did sneak in there. Zendaya carries the show on her shoulders. It is an ensemble show, but Zendaya really, really carries this mammoth of a show. And this mammoth of material, it's heavy work. Her going from Disney Channel star to this poignant, dramatic actress is so impressive and so amazing to see, and I think that could carry her. So I have Laura Linney will win. I have Jennifer Aniston could win. Do not be surprised if Zendaya sneaks in there. Best Drama Series. I have thoughts on this. First, the nominees: Succession, Ozark, The Crown, Better Call Saul, The Mandalorian, The Handmaid's Tale, Killing Eve, Stranger Things. Where the fuck is Pose? Where the fuck is Pose? Season 2 of Pose was so moving and gut-wrenching, and they tackled so many things in such a beautiful, uplifting way. I'm insulted it's not here. I didn't talk about it earlier, but the fact that Billy Porter was the only performer nominated from that series is also really, really aggravating. This is a show that celebrates and centers Black and brown trans women, and not a single trans woman was nominated. Angelica Ross gave a heart-wrenching performance and tackled a storyline that affects so many trans women still to this day. Not a single ounce of recognition. She bared her soul. She did excellent work, and Angelica Ross deserves so much better. MJ Rodriguez also is a big snub for me. She should be in the best leading actress category for drama series. Every time she walks on screen, she lights up that screen. She fills my heart. I always feel so comforted by her presence. MJ Rodriguez should be in the lead category. I'm aggravated all over again. I've said this phrase 1,000 times today already, but she drives that show. MJ Rodriguez carries that show. She is the matriarch. MJ Rodriguez is the heart of that show. I'm gonna cry thinking about her and Blanca. The Television Academy did Pose so fucking dirty. And this is no shade to Billy Porter. Billy Porter's amazing on that show, but I don't know why, with a show about Black and brown trans women, we're not going to nominate any trans performers. And this also goes beyond Pose, this issue. Hunter Schafer did excellent work in Euphoria as well. Trans performers are always, always, always overlooked. They are severely overlooked, and we need to really start recognizing the work they do. And not even just recognizing the work they do, but giving them opportunities to turn out the great work. Oh, I'm so aggravated. The Mandalorian does not need to be on there. I think I'm in the minority of this thought, but The Mandalorian was kind of boring to me. The first 1 or 2 episodes were really great, and the last 2 were really great. There's an episode directed by Deborah Chow in there that's also really good, but the middle chunk was just so boring. I was not interested. I kind of wanted to get it over with. The only reason I was really engaged was Baby Yoda. Bebe Yoda. So give Baby Yoda a nom. I would also take out The Handmaid's Tale or Stranger Things and swap it in favor of Euphoria. I think Euphoria gets kind of overlooked because it's a show about teens and young people, and I think the Television Academy kind of looks at them in a certain way. Euphoria is so wild and gripping and entertaining, but also tackles really serious subjects. And visually and stylistically, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. I didn't watch season 3 of The Handmaid's Tale. I gave up after season 2 because season 2 was just a lot of, we're escaping and now we're gonna go back, and we're escaping and now we're gonna go back, and now we're finally out, but I have to go back. And I was just kind of I'm over this. It also, for me personally, The Handmaid's Tale kind of turned into how disturbing can we get. I couldn't do it. It was making me very depressed. Stranger Things, I personally loved this new season. It kind of restored the magic that season 1 had. I liked season 2, but season 3 was just amazing. However, I don't think it was anything new for the show. It kind of follows the formula. So if we couldn't get rid of Handmaid's Tale, I would opt to switch that with Euphoria. I only have it above Handmaid's Tale because I love it. Pose and Euphoria, the Academy did it dirty. The Crown, it's an Academy favorite. I wouldn't be surprised if it did sneak up in there and win. Again, I hate The Crown, but wouldn't be surprised. Would be really disappointed. Ozark. I think Ozark's always kind of flown under the radar. I think this year it's gotten the critical acclaim and it's got the numbers to really back it up as a serious contender. However, I think this is Succession's year. I think Succession is the new Game of Thrones, but probably better. I loved Game of Thrones. I was so betrayed by that ending. We'll never watch again. Succession, I think, is so buzzy. Succession reminds me of Game of Thrones in the sense where you don't know who's safe in a different way, but you never know who's safe. You never know who's gonna do what. And it's episode after episode, it just keeps you on the edge of your seat. And all the performances are so stellar. And no one would shut up about this show. I I will be shocked if Succession doesn't win. I put a super bet on it on Gold Derby. Succession will win. Ozark could win, but it's going to be Succession. Let's go to comedy. Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. We have Dan Levy for Schitt's Creek, Tony Shalhoub for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Mahershala Ali for Rami, Sterling K. Brown, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. When does he have time? Alan Arkin, The Kaminsky Method, Kenan Thompson, Saturday Night Live, William Jackson Harper for The Good Place, and Andre Braugher for Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I think this year in the comedy category, it is Schitt's Creek versus Mrs. Maisel across the board. Miss Maisel is an Emmy darling. Its first season swept every award under the sun. Everybody adores it. Everybody adores her. However, I think Fleabag kind of interrupting that momentum gave Schitt's Creek a little wiggle room. I think Schitt's Creek in general has the final season momentum carrying it forward. I love Dan Levy. He is my everything. He is my inspiration. I have him at number one, but I also do think he will win this. I think it's Schitt's Creek, a little bit above. Do not be surprised if Tony Shalhoub wins. Also, do not count out Mahershala Ali. Mahershala Ali is a tremendous performer. Award shows love him, rightfully so. It's so well-deserved. And Rami is a critical darling. Special shout out to William Jackson Harper. I don't think he'll win, but I love The Good Place and I love Chidi so much. So Dan Levy will win. Tony Shalhoub and Mahershala Ali could win. Best Actress in a Supporting Role Comedy. We have Alex Borstein for The Marvelous Miss Maisel, Annie Murphy, Schitt's Creek, Darcy Carden for The Good Place, Kate McKinnon, Saturday Night Live, Yvonne Orji for Insecure, Maren Hinkle, The Marvelous Miss Maisel, Betty Gilpin, Glow, and Cecily Strong, Saturday Night Live. Again, I think it's a Schitt's Creek, Miss Maisel showdown. I do think Alex Borstein has the upper edge. I think this is the less secure one for Schitt's Creek. I love Annie Murphy. She did stellar work on this season of Schitt's Creek. I think she gets overlooked all the time. Annie Murphy took this very vapid caricature and made her a person with dreams and ambition and depth, and she made me cry, and she just really won my heart. I've loved Alexis from the beginning, but the transformation she took her on was incredible. I think Alex Borstein will win, but I'm really rooting for Annie Murphy. I think she could win. I really think she could. And I will cry very happy tears if she does. Best Actor in a Comedy Series. The nominees are Eugene Levy for Schitt's Creek, Rami Youssef for Rami, Ted Danson for The Good Place, Michael Douglas for The Kaminsky Method, Don Cheadle, Black Monday, and Anthony Anderson for Blackish. First, I just want to say, can we give Anthony Anderson a fucking Emmy already? Him and Tracee Ellis Ross. Blackish is outstanding. It deserves way more hype, and it gets nominated and then overlooked every year. Why are we bugging them to come if we're not gonna give them anything? They're severely overlooked and underrated. So I see y'all. I love y'all. I think Eugene Levy's going to take it. Eugene is a living legend in the comedy world, and coupling that with the Schitt's Creek fervor, I think this is his. Rami Youssef won the Golden Globe. Rami is buzzy. Rami is up and coming, and he's excellent. So I wouldn't be surprised if he took this home. Eugene Levy will win. Rami Youssef could absolutely upset and sneak in there. I would not be surprised to see him on the stage, and I wouldn't be angry about it at all. He's terrific. My neighbors are fighting probably about the Emmys. Best Actress in a Comedy Series. We have Catherine O'Hara, Schitt's Creek, Rachel Brosnahan, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Issa Rae for Insecure, Christina Applegate, Dead to Me, Linda Cardellini, Dead to Me, and Tracee Ellis Ross, Blackish. Again, shout out to Tracee. You deserve the world. I think this is the most secure Schitt's Creek victory. It is Catherine O'Hara's to lose. She leaves me in stitches. I love Moira. Catherine O'Hara is a legend and gives one of the best performances in a comedy role I have ever seen. I really think it's hers to lose. Want to shout out Issa Rae for Insecure. I think if it wasn't the Schitt's Creek Miss Maisel duel, Insecure would really be cleaning up. I think this is its most successful Emmy year to date, and I think going into season 5 it's going to be riding high. I think next year could really be Insecure's year. Issa Rae did such a beautiful job Catherine O'Hara will win this. Rachel Brosnahan could. Do not count out Issa Rae, but I will be very shocked if Catherine O'Hara does not walk home with this Emmy. And by walk home, I mean it's not delivered to her home because we're in a pandemic. The final category, Best Comedy Series. We have Schitt's Creek, Marvelous Miss Maisel, The Good Place, Insecure, What We Do in the Shadows, Dead to Me, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and The Kaminsky Method. I'm actually changing this live. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The 4 shows out of 8, the top 4 I have are The Good Place, Insecure, Miss Maisel, and Schitt's Creek. I think all four of those shows have just been at the apex of conversation around comedy series. It has all the critical love, and rightfully so. I think The Good Place was overlooked for the past 3 seasons and is finally getting mainstream recognition. The Good Place is moving, and it's a really funny, silly show that talks about these darker themes and felt like such a hug in a very confusing, weird time. I watched the finale shortly after my grandma passed away, and it was the most healing experience I've ever had with a television show. I felt so much lighter. It was so cathartic, and I think that's a testament to The Good Place. I think The Good Place really tackles these difficult themes in a beautiful, beautiful way. Insecure, just the whole crux of the series is your late 20s, early 30s, and how awful it is. At the very root of it, I think this is such a great show about coming of age. I'm someone who thinks we're always coming of age no matter how old we are, and I think the show really captures that. I think the show really highlights the Black experience really well. I don't think we get a lot of shows like this for Black audiences featuring all Black casts. This season, a lot of people really grew. I think everyone was just all the characters were just kind of stumbling through their hazy insecurities, and this season really pushed everyone to grow and develop, and we really saw that across the board, and it was, I think, a game-changing season. God, I love you, Issa Rae. If for some reason you ever watch this, I love you so much. Again, I've said it 600 times, but I think this year is really Schitt's Creek versus The Marvelous Miss Maisel. Miss Maisel is made for Emmys. It is such a little critical darling. It's got really great performances. It's glitzy. It's just got all the makings of Emmys, and it was a front runner its first season. Everyone loved it. It got a little derailed by Fleabag, but I think now that Fleabag isn't here, people could really go back to the new season and be like, oh, I love her. We love Miss Maisel. Schitt's Creek, what I think it really has going for it, again, as I mentioned earlier, is its story. It started as this little tiny show, and it just blew up into a phenomenon, and its ending is a phenomenon. It didn't overstay its welcome. It ended beautifully. I think it's political without being too overtly political. I love that it is a show that celebrates love. I love that one of its main characters is in a same-sex relationship, and it's celebrated, and their struggles are not from being in a same-sex relationship. It's just regular struggles that couples go through. I think Schitt's Creek's got the edge, especially because this is the last season. Miss Maisel will be coming back. We will have more Miss Maisel. Schitt's Creek is not coming back. This is the last chance to nominate and award Schitt's Creek. Also, how fitting is it that Schitt's Creek is the front runner at the Emmys, but they can't go to the Emmys? That would be a plot line. Moira Rose finally gets award recognition and can't go because there's a global pandemic or something. Silly. Schitt's Creek is my winner. Do not be shocked if Miss Maisel takes it. Thank you guys so much for watching. That was fun. I hope to do more award show stuff. I love award shows. Like Moira Rose, my favorite season is awards. So yeah, I hope to do more of that, maybe a little better. I feel like I kind of started a little rickety, but I'll let you decide. What do you guys think? Who do you think is going to win? I know award shows don't mean a whole lot, but they're fun. I hope I do well and get my points on Gold Derby. Until next time, bye. I don't know. David.